Greetings, warrior. This is Walt, aka Woo Boo, as they call me in the lands between that we call Infinite. And today I'm excited to share with you a live breakdown on dun, 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 post-launch update number 1. I came out with a blog article earlier this week breaking down this update and what I've been doing, but this video is going to be all about the nuance, the things in preparation for post-launch, diving into more details about post-launch. And believe it or not, this is actually going to be the first video where I'm actually showing you exactly what it looks like inside of Infinite. So this is a really big update. Before it was just announcing Infinite's launch and there being like kind of like marketing materials and stuff like that. But this video I'm going to be diving super deep into all things fitness, fantasy, and RPGs. So if you're into all of those things and you're new here, consider subscribing to our channel below, and also leave a comment. I look at all the comments just like I look at every forum post inside of Infinite, which I'll be getting into shortly. But let's dive in. A lot has been going on. I promise I'm going to be making way more YouTube videos and YouTube breakdowns based on what a lot of you have been asking about, and especially for a lot of you new to a fitness fantasy RPG, the world's first, by the way. I don't expect anyone to really know exactly what to do in this world because it's combining fitness and mobile role-playing games. So that's the whole point of why I'm here. But let's get straight to the short of it. First and foremost, the Warrior Circle, if you don't know, is our in-app forum. Every bug report thread now has an answer. Drafts stop vanishing, replies and pins visibly go through, flagged posts get acted on, and your privacy choices hold. There was a number of features that just weren't really functioning correctly and properly functional. Now this is a much more of a robust feedback system now. And I think that's the big change inside of the forum, is that now not only what you post gets seen and heard, but also when it comes to bug reports and things like that, now I can actually update the status, inform you of where we are. If it's a new feature or a bug that I'm troubleshooting, I'll let you know exactly what stage I'm in during that troubleshooting process. And also remember, I am a solo dev here, so I'm the only person working on all of this, which is why it took me nearly 3 weeks almost to actually record this video and get update 1 out there. So a lot of awesome things going on in the Warrior Circle. Offline workouts, plain and simple. This was one of the most asked for features. There were so many problems with people just trying to log their workouts at the gym and just not being able to connect to the servers. And this is one of the things that I worked on almost immediately because I'm obviously an active player and user. So I had that same issue too. The gym I go to, the service there isn't that good either. So I had problems with submitting my workouts and finishing that reward loop for me in terms of going through a grueling combat quest and then all of a sudden not being able to claim my rewards or even get a result screen. So that's now fixed. Offline workouts are a thing. And the big difference between offline workouts and obviously online workouts is that you could still log your workouts. You're not going to get kicked out of the app. And once you do connect back onto the internet servers, or whether that's self-service for your mobile phone, you'll then automatically get connected to our servers, and then you'll also get credit and all of your XP that you earn during your quest. So that's really big. Next, the everyday reliability. The keyboard stops hiding what you type. There was a lot of typing issues that was brought up inside of the world chat and also the Warrior Circle. So made that absolutely robust and smooth and reliable. Meals land on the right day. So basically there was sometimes the meal logging was landing on the previous days or the next days because meal logging was based on the server time rather than your local time. So dinner to you could be breakfast in terms of server reset time because we were going through UTC time. So now that is fixed as well. The opening sequence and setup stop trapping or repeating in terms of the onboarding experience for new players. Daily rewards can't be lost or double claimed, which is really big. We want to make sure that you earn everything in terms of logging in consistently and making sure that every player is accurately getting the right amount of XP. Definitely don't want players getting too much XP now in terms of XP that they should not be earning based on their effort. Error messages say what went wrong, so a lot more transparency, and your workout history shows the XP you earned. Pretty reasonable things to ask for too, that just were not, again, either fully implemented properly or just were not functioning properly. So this is pretty big, making sure we have a lot of transparency in terms of what you earn. Now, another big thing, Apple Health. I've been battling even before launch with Apple Health, and now manual connection and sync are live on the supported iPhone version. Automatic background sync stays off for now while I test what happens when the app closes, reopens, or changes accounts. Again, a lot of the offline capabilities, online capabilities, and things like that definitely interfered with the auto syncing aspect, so I decided to turn that off for now. But manual sync does work, so if you do go and do any type of cardio and you have a wearable on your wrist and you own an iPhone or Apple device, you will be able to manually sync everything accurately too. And this was huge. I was battling with this for a long time, and I'm so happy to finally get this working, and it's 90% there. The last step is just getting auto sync down so you connect it and then you forget it and you get all of your data synced to the Infinite game. Nexus and Rifts. I rebuilt the Nexus controls and the Rift anchors, which tracks active and banked rifts, so you can find a waiting rift and reopen it without hunting. This was also another issue too, is sometimes players just didn't want to engage with the rift, and you have about 10 minutes to engage, so it is a timed rift depending on the rarity. So did a lot of work in terms of the rift aspect, as well as making it a lot more visually appealing, allowing you to understand what rarity monster that you can engage with for the rift to see if it's worthwhile engaging with or not. And just overall, the rift system in terms of frequency that it appeared is also a big thing, because rifts were just popping up all the time everywhere, and sometimes you just didn't want to engage with the rift as frequently as you did, because it's supposed to be a rare moment, a rare encounter inside of Infinite. So fixed the RNG aspects of that as well. And last but not least, Living Quest and combat. So the Living Quest, this is so exciting. I can't wait to dive much deeper into this. But basically what it is, it's basically a roguelite mode inside of Infinite, and it's exclusive to Vanguard warriors, simply because this is a game mode that does require MI, which is what we call is magical intelligence, aka AI. And this allows you to truly have a unique experience every single time you walk into the gym. And basically, we have two different, roguelike modes inside of Living Quest, and that's the Quick Quest, which is just simply 3 encounters. So you basically go into the gym, you decide, okay, this is how I want to kind of start my workout. This is the exercise I want to do, whether that's a squat, a bench press, deadlift, whatever that might be. And then from there, you go through that encounter, and then you go through a selection experience after you defeat that monster between 3 possible additional encounters or monsters that you can face, all completely on the fly. So literally every single time you go through the Living Quest, you can have a completely different experience. And that's not even the primary mode inside Living Quest. The primary mode is actually our open-ended run with no cap. So you can essentially go through each one of these encounters without a cap. So you can literally go through three encounters, 5, 7, or even 10 for as many sets and reps as you want. So it is one of the most exciting new game modes that I actually had available on day one, August 3rd, for Vanguard subscribers. I can't wait to share a lot more and do some live runs and showcase it in some future content. But not only that, I also upgraded the Living Quest mode with now cardio and hybrid options. So it's not just about strength training, right? Workouts are not only about strength training. So I wanted to add additional possible ways you can engage inside of the Living Quest with cardio as a settings option for your run, as well as a hybrid version. So you can mix and match strength training, potentially hypertrophy, which is muscle building, or even cardio all into one. So basically, in simple terms, how this would look like if you're actually doing a run is when you're going into those encounters and you get the option to choose your encounters, you won't only have strength monsters as possible monsters you can select. You can have a strength monster, you can have a cardio monster, or you can have a hypertrophy monster or something else. So it's just more options for more variety and for more unique experience. So expanding that with a lot of different types of cardio, like walking, running, cycling, rowing, swimming, hiking, or even yoga in there as well for those of you who don't want to go into just only some type of strength training, or even want to go into some post-workout or recovery type of activities as well. So that's huge. Then PvE, turn-based combat, where you act and the monster's answers, is close but still in testing. So that is probably the biggest thing that I'm coming out with in the next week or so, is full PvE combat. I'm so excited about this because this is now finally stepping even closer into deeper PvE type of content. And again, if you don't know what PvE is, it's player versus environment. It's basically you engaging with some type of enemy computer or some type of enemy inside of the game directly, where they are not only getting attacked by you, but they are attacking you, aka your avatar inside of Infinite. So that's the gist of it. Let's just dive a little bit deeper into what that looks like in terms of inside the app. I'm not going to go over the full article. If you want to read the full update article and get all of the extra details, again, I'm going to provide a link to that in the description. But this is what it looks like inside of the Warrior Circle. So inside of the Warrior Circle, you can see this is literally the latest article inside of, or latest forum post inside of our app based on the time of this recording. And you can see that there are absolutely, feature requests and bug reports inside of Infinite. And again, all players see this, I see this, and when I do engage with these forum posts, I do update the status within the forum post so that you know that I acknowledge this, and also I do like to drop some comments from time to time as well. So if you are playing Infinite, which is free for Pathfinder Warriors, feel free to drop a post inside the Warrior Circle and the forum. If there's a feature that you want, or you just want to share your thoughts about stuff, again, a lot of the launch has been based on bug reports and things like that and feature requests. So if you do want to share your excitement and share things that you like, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other players that would appreciate that and like to see that as well, and like to share their excitement with you. And so do I. So feel free to drop something in the forum about what you think. Then, like I said, offline workouts. So this is basically what you see for any reason. If the app closes, if you lose service, and something happens in terms of the app itself, this is exactly what you'll see. You'll see that the app now captures exactly where you were when you were progressing on your particular combat quest. And as you can see, resume quest or abandon quest is right there, and it tells you exactly which quest you can resume, as well as when it was last saved. As you can see right here, it says 8/21/2026, 3:52, 53 seconds p.m. And again, we are constantly auto saving, so you don't have to manually save. So that's one auto system that I wanted to make sure that we have in place, is that we are constantly auto saving your progress so that you can easily pick up exactly where you left off. And part of that was a lot of work in terms of back-end stuff, nerd stuff, dev stuff, with how data is being saved on your phone and how we can actually access that particular workout data so that we can easily just keep a log of exactly what you're doing inside the app in terms of your combat quest. So that took a long time. It took a lot longer than I thought, and I'm actually so happy that the offline workouts are a thing, because I wanted it, a lot of other players wanted it, and it's just going to make sure that you go through your combat quests and experiences reliably so that you don't lose progress. Everyday fixes, typing, meal logging, streaks, and rewards. The Hearth is where you track your nutrition. So a lot of work was done to make sure we put a lot of stuff in the forefront in terms of your total calories for the day, which we call mana, your protein, your carbs, your fats, all those particular goals, being able to adjust your goals, as well as select multiple different ways that you can track, like searching, scanning, describing, snapping a picture of your meal if you want to log pictures. Or if you're part of Vanguard, you can actually take a picture of your meal and actually have it detect the foods that are inside the meal as well as quantities, or getting access to your favorite foods. Again, we want to move that to the forefront so that you can easily access it and you are completely aware of where you are during the day in terms of your calorie and macronutrient goals, but also what meal or meals that you want to log for that particular day. As you can see right here, we have dawn repast, midday feast, afternoon elixir, evening banquet. These are all breakfast, midday, lunch, dinner. So you can actually categorize all of your meals into these buckets. So these are just a number of just a lot of different features that we are adding to the alchemy, aka nutrition aspects of Infitnite. Apple Health Sync, like I said, in this image right here, you don't see it connected, but you can see how it's connected in terms of all the different categories that we capture in terms of data. We can capture your activity, body metrics, vitals, sleep, external workouts, as well as mobility stuff as well. And again, you can see at the bottom here, you can actually manually sync it right over here. So this is so huge, especially for people like me who have an Apple Watch or a wearable that actually has data syncing to the phone. This is you're now capable of syncing these things inside of Infitnite, which is huge, right? That's one less thing that you have to manually track inside of Infitnite. Nexus is always evolving. We made a lot of changes into, like I said, rifts and just layouts inside of the Nexus hub. We added the command sigil right here where you can access quick access things. So quick actions, things that you can do really quick. So just to make the experience, again, faster, more efficient, and more fluid for you if you don't want to scroll around and go to the actual bigger interior locations, like for example the mission board right here. If you want, you can hit that command sigil, that plus sign in the bottom right hand corner, and then you can actually just access your missions and see how many missions you have that you can claim to claim the rewards and things like that. So which is also another thing, you can see 9+ notifications right here. So there's something that I can claim or this person can claim by hitting that Command Sigil without you scrolling and trying to find it on the hub itself. So another big quality of life things just to make your experience a lot better. And this is what it looks like inside of the Living Quest. As you can see, we have the quick quest and the open run options. Again, open run is typically recommended unless you're trying to get in and get out in terms of your workout quests. But you can, as you can see, there's a lot of things that you can do to customize your Living Quest. Again, you could choose the starting movement. So for this example, it's the back squat. You could then set a time target. So this one is on 30 to 45 minutes. And then you can also choose a primary focus for your run. So that could be full body, upper body, lower body, powerlifting, or conditioning. Again, we plan on having even more focuses once we have more players going through the Living Quest and just really just gauging player behavior, right, and just seeing how it feels. We just really want to get the kind of core, basic, workout choices that most people do choose, and that is typically either a full body workout, upper body or lower body workout, a powerlifting workout, which goes through squat, bench, deadlift, right? And really kind of figuring out unique ways to customize that experience, including conditioning, so that every single time you go through a Living Quest run, it is actually something that feels unique, but also is fun, which is missing in a lot of workouts. So that's something that I believe the Living Quest brings, and I think it's, in my opinion, the coolest and definitely most valuable experience, because you can literally go through an infinite amount of these and you can have a completely unique experience every single time. So I think that's a level of variety and novelty that you just can't find anywhere else. So excited. I'm going to dive deeper into that at a later time, especially as we update and improve it as well based on your feedback. But a little teaser, like I said, in terms of what's coming next, PvE turn-based combat. So this is probably the coolest aspect that I'm so excited about. Again, just a little teaser. Just know that when you are fighting monsters, there is going to be a component where the monster does fight back. And the way your monster does fight back is just like in any role-playing game. The monster does have stats. It has attributes just like your avatar. So the damage that you deal to monsters is relative to how you perform, but also your avatar stats as well. And same thing, vice versa with monsters. And as you can see, a couple things that we already integrated into the current combat system, you can see that the monster HP is 95%. And you can also see roughly how many reps it's going to take to actually defeat the monster, which is about 21 more reps of the body weight squat, which is this particular monster. So little details like that just really kind of set goals on a exercise to exercise or monster to monster basis. But you'll see in the battle feed, you can see you struck Withered Kobold and you did 1 rep of a bodyweight squat, RP7, for about 83 damage. You're going to see when the monster deals damage to you, and your damage, or your HP is in Infinite, is actually called Resolve, and you will have a limited amount of Resolve per monster encounter. There is going to be unique aspects that I don't want to reveal yet, but just know that it is, a lot of the inspiration was the IP that completely changed my perspective on gaming, which is like Final Fantasy. So if you can imagine those turn-based aspects or systems or features in games like turn-based games like Final Fantasy, then you can possibly expect some of those things here as well. But overall, I'm just excited to get deeper into PvE content inside of Infinite. But again, like I mentioned before, if you want to play Infinite, you can play completely for free by becoming a Pathfinder warrior, or you can upgrade your experience to a Vanguard. Again, Pathfinder is the core, complete foundation of the game. It is not this stripped out version of Infinite. It is complete. We have tons of free, complete content. Vanguard is going to be that extra layer. Think of it as like that expansion layer where you can upgrade your features, capabilities, services, and just overall efficiency so you can do things faster, more efficient, and you have way more data, analytics, and feedback on the things that you're doing and the progress that you're making inside of Infinite. My mission is to completely over deliver in value in terms of Vanguard, and I believe combat alone does that, especially with game modes like the Living Quest. But just know that there's always going to be, I guess you could say, added features, more content, better experiences, more polished experiences throughout Pathfinder and Vanguard experiences. So just know that I'm constantly going to be adding more content and making the experience better for both Pathfinder and Vanguard. And remember, if you do choose Vanguard, you get everything in Pathfinder completely for free. So it's not a this or that. It's like, do you want the core base experience, or do you want an enhanced, expanded experience on top of the core free Pathfinder experience? So other than that, you can download Infinite today if you haven't already on Google Play and app stores. But that is it for me on this one. The long video, update video. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more frequent, shorter videos for you. But there was just so much that went into this update. I literally have been pulling 17, 18-hour work days, just constantly figuring out ways to solve a lot of users and players' problems and just addressing things as quickly as possible so that you have the best possible experience. And every new player coming in, which we have new players coming in every single day all over the world, I really want to make sure their experience, their first impression of Infinite is the best it possibly can be, because I don't want you focusing on bugs and issues. I want you focusing on you and your experience and how you're progressing inside the world of Infinite that I created for you. So all that being said, my name is Walt. You can find me inside of Infinite as Woo Boo. I'm so excited to finally share more about this update, and look out for future updates as well as a full post-launch plan coming soon. I'll see you inside of the Warriors Circle, inside our forum, and also hopefully inside the World Chat. Come say hi. I'm typically always there, so come say hi. Come join our community, and also let's make progress on your health and fitness goals by playing a role-playing game. All right, Warrior. I'll see you later. Peace.